falling in love after the first date. I'm going to marry this woman.
When you talk about her, your eyes just sparkle.
Zach taught me what true, unconditional, unwavering, respectful, peaceful, amazing love is. Those raw moments that happen are just beautiful and amazing.
It really is sweet that you've both created a space for him in your lives that way.
I'm going to cherish this love and give all my love to make sure we're protected, and he's always going to be a part of it. Welcome back to Love Out of Chaos with the Valentines. I'm Patrick Valentine.
Do we still pause? No. And I'm Linda, Mama Valentine.
We're still getting used to Zach not being here. But that's okay.
It is.
Because I don't know, but that's okay. It's just okay.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
It's an adjustment.
Change is hard sometimes.
Change is hard.
But change is good. And
Yeah.
speaking of change,
Yeah.
there's a lot of good changes happening.
1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 2, 1.
I got engaged. Wait.
We're engaged.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Everyone's engaged.
We're
got
engaged.
engaged. Yeah. Okay.
It's a family affair. Like, we're excited. We're all excited.
But yeah, so I got engaged, which
Yeah.
is wild to say the least.
Wow. Long time coming. Yes.
Zach can no longer call me lonely.
He
I mean,
will still,
will still call me- yeah,
continue
he
to
will.
call you lonely.
He will. That's
That's not
Zach.
going to change.
It's
Yeah.
not at all.
No.
But
I'm
yeah.
pregnant.
And yeah, I know. It's fine. Whatever. Anyways. Got derailed a little bit. But yeah, I got engaged. Everyone, I think it's
Congratulations.
it's a true blessing, honestly. It is. I
It
still
is.
so surreal. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't compute in my mind yet.
I think because it happened so fast. Like, let's be real. It happened really fast. And I think even us getting used to having somebody else there,
Uh-huh.
because it changes, right? The dynamic.
Yeah, of
like
course.
it just and it's all wonderful. It's all positive. It's all welcoming. But there again, we talk about change, right? There's a different person coming into the space, and because we're often together all the time, that it. But even for me as a mom and a woman and a female, it's nice to have another female around. So I'm excited. I've always wanted a daughter, and so I feel blessed. I feel excited and blessed, and we all love her. There's so many. I'm gonna get teary eyed. I know.
I don't think I'll get teary-eyed
I
in
am.
this episode.
There's nothing more than
I'm
a
a
mom
loss for
wants.
words still.
I know. And there's nothing more than a mom wants to see, like, their children happy in love.
Yeah.
Believe me, there is love in the air, and you can see. Oh my gosh, you can see it. Everybody really wants to know. Yes, they are really in love, and really, really in love. And it's
Yay.
nice. It's nice when you see a connection. It's nice when you see how you both complement each other, and there's no denying. I can't walk away thinking, "Are you sure, Patrick? Are you sure this is what you really want?"
Yeah.
But are you looking at all? No, it feels and it looks right from my side.
Yeah, no, and I think from my side, it 1,000,000% feels right. It feels what true love is meant to be and looks like and feels like. I often find myself just smiling randomly.
Yeah, you do.
And I was like, why am I smiling? I was like, oh, I'm thinking about her. I was like, oh, how cute. But yeah, I think.
You can see that. I can see that. I see that every day. And the way you
Yeah.
carry on every day, there's a different, who is not, anybody that is in love, sees life differently. And
Yeah, life does feel a little different
yeah, it
right
does.
now.
I can see it in you. Absolutely.
Which is so funny because to me, I've always believed in love, right? Absolutely. But looking back, I was like, oh, it's just being in love, finding the person. And I guess I didn't really
Where's the
fully
tissue? I'm sorry, but
understand.
where's the tissue? Okay, okay,
I
okay.
didn't fully understand it until I was in it,
Yeah,
until experiencing
of
that type of
course.
love. And the only comparison I really have is like to Zach. I always go back to Zach. He taught me what like true, unconditional, unwavering, respectful, peaceful, amazing love is. And she is that. And
In a
there,
partner, right?
yeah, in a
Because
partner.
obviously
Yeah, it's a
your
little different.
relationship with
But
Zachary is a brotherly love,
but
and
she is that in a partner, and it's something that I didn't know could feel this amazing, could feel this great. I'm still at a very much loss for words with all of it, just because the ultimate word is just happy, peaceful, excited. Those are just
yeah,
the common
as
words,
you
but
should be. You should
yeah,
be experiencing all of it. You shouldn't be in a place of doubt. You shouldn't be in a place of
no, never
second
was.
guessing that, that feeling. No. And I think that's when it feels right and it looks right. And happy that, congratulations. We're all
Thank you.
excited. So tell me what, let's go back a little bit where I know you probably have talked about it, but where it really felt like this is where you were
After the
planning.
first date, I saw it on everything. It was such a great and also internally a weird feeling, transparently, to after having the first date, being in my mind, oh, I'm going to marry this woman. It was a quick thought, a thought that didn't feel like it was necessarily coming from my mind, but from God as a whole. From that moment, I just,
A whole
I,
spirit
ju- I
just
just,
spoke to you.
I just accepted it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't fully question it. I didn't fully wonder like, oh, that's weird. It was just, yeah, I'm gonna marry this woman. Cool. Okay, let's move on. It was just as is, just as a
Yeah.
matter of fact.
You hear
There's a
stories.
table
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
It's just that there's a
It's not
table right
real.
here. It's a matter of fact, and that's just how I felt. It was just a matter of fact. Obviously, that happy feeling, heart felt really happy. Uh, a little giddy,
Yeah.
talking big smiles, talking about her, talking about the first date, but it just felt right from the very, very beginning. Which, again, I think for people listening, if you knew me beforehand, before social media, in my personal life, you would probably say, oh, Patrick, are you okay? Because it's not necessarily who I was, that norm of, falling in love after the first date and just accepting this element, this truly this blessing as a whole. And looking back, I obviously don't regret it, have no doubts or
Right,
anything,
right.
but it's so interesting to reflect for me about how younger me would have been skeptical of how I was feeling or how I felt after that first date, which is kind of funny to me.
Yeah, things change. I mean, your experience, life experiences, perspectives, everything change.
Right.
And maturity, right? You as you get older, you mature, your thoughts mature, your values change. And no, I'm excited and what was that moment? So you already knew. So you felt, right? You
Mm-hmm.
felt this unknowing internal feeling of I'm going to marry her. So when did that start taking place in your mind of moving forward and saying, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to take it to that next level, next step. Because,
I
you know,
think it was
some.
conversations that we had. So
Okay.
it was always open conversations of where we were at in the relationship as well as what we were both feeling. Because I could only imagine if I was feeling one way and she wasn't feeling the same way, it would not necessarily work in the same way it did. And so it was just an open, honest communication throughout the relationship from the very beginning of what our goals are, how many kids do we want, what do we see our life in the future, what do we want to do, what do we want to accomplish, how does family fit into all this, and how
Yeah.
family is important. What's our upbringing? What are things we feel like we both need to still work on? And it was
Because
just,
that's not always really common. I mean, when you really think
we
about,
just dive deep.
yeah, you
Yeah,
dove
I think.
deep, and it's not always that common. You often hear, you know, someone popping the question, and you're afraid you might get rejected. That's very
In a weird way, I guess I was too. But I
right.
knew,
No,
I knew
that's
she
why I
was gonna
say
say yes because
was
we went
there?
ring shopping together.
Okay,
But
yeah, yeah,
I think ultimately the nervousness. I think as a guy, the nervousness of popping the question because you've never done it before, and when something is
yeah.
just for the first
For the
time, a
first
little
time,
nerve
yeah.
wracking. You're literally putting your
You don't
heart
want to get
fully out there.
rejected, right?
Right. You're
Yeah,
pretty much saying, here's my heart. It is
yeah.
your choice whether to
You did.
make it hurt or not. If you say no, it's gonna hurt a lot.
Yeah.
But I think logically, I knew she was gonna say yes because we went ring shopping. We talked about it. We talked about when we wanted more or less to get engaged. And so I think that open communication is what helped the relationship move along as quickly as it did and as great as it did. It was just a constant communication throughout from the very beginning. So we knew where we were. And so the next step and the next steps that we're taking just feel right and natural because we already talked about it
Right, right.
months earlier, or we already talked about it. So it's not like we're taking these steps on a whim. We talked about it way before.
I think that's really special because even ring shopping is not very common going to get, ring
It is
shop.
more common now.
It is.
It is more common now.
And
And
I
when I
I
learned how
admire
common
that.
it
I have to
is,
say I admire that because there is a genuine desire not only to move forward together, but you're already starting with, like you say, there's this open communication, but there's these moments that you get to share together that create part of those memories, right? Ring shopping, and it's nice to see.
yeah. And I think,
And I love that Zachary was part of that too.
yeah, Zach loved it too. It's so funny. Zach, so if you haven't seen the video, we went ring shopping and it's on Valentine Brothers YouTube channel and such. So full videos on there, but a little synopsis of it. Zach helped me ring shop as well. This is before me and Bernadette decided to go ring shopping together. And Zach was so disappointed that we didn't pick out a ring. He
He
was
loves
so
shopping. Not only
disappointed.
does he really, really love shopping, but I can just imagine him saying,
Get
like,
everything. Yeah,
like
he has
what
very
the heck?
expensive taste
One of
too.
each? Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that.
I think from all the things he picked, it was easily like 50,000,
He's
70,000.
like the big one.
The biggest one. He's like, ooh. I was like,
Ooh, shiny.
calm down, bro. Calm down. And
You mean to tell me you didn't get the $50,000 one?
listen, again, we talked about it. We talked about our budget even. So me and Bernadette talked about our budget because we also know on the other end too, a lot of people do go into debt, whether it's for a ring or for weddings or for those elements. And so we found it important to have the conversation of what our real goals are in the
Right.
future. And so I think having those conversations is what made all of it feel so seamless. Was it nerve wracking again? Was it
Yeah.
hard to find a ring at first? Yeah, of course. It's the first time doing anything. But again, it was just at ease because we had these conversations. And going together was really, really great because ultimately she's wearing this for the rest of her life
Right.
and wanting her to be a part of
And just
it.
absolutely
And
love what she's wearing. And I
yeah,
think it's important.
yeah, and she loves it too. And again, it's just a beautiful experience and beautiful thing to do together. And to have so many people involved throughout it was also a blessing as well.
I mean, even when just seeing it for the first time and
Yeah.
you showed me, it was an emotional moment for me. Again, as a mom, like there's nothing more than the excitement that it brings me to see that little box and know that this is the next journey in your life. And like you said, it's a family affair. We're all excited, and
Yeah, and I think the family affair is really important too, in a sense, because obviously we're doing it together, me and her, right? But bringing along Zachary and the shopping,
Yeah.
being able to show you, being able to show her family before the proposal was also very special and amazing as well. And so trying to include as reasonable and as great as possible to include the family
Right.
in all of it, because it's two families joining together. Here we are. And it's just been great. It's been a fantastic, great experience. So that was the ring shopping.
So,
And
how long did it take you to plan out where you're going to pop the question? How you're going to pop the question? Was that a seamless process for you? Or, I mean, I can tell you my version, but
so it was a
take us down that road.
yeah, it's kind of twofold. One part of it felt a lot of it was planned, and then the other part was kind of just winging it. It was a mixture of both.
Right.
And so why I say it's a mixture of both is because I knew, again, early on we talked about it. I was hinting at her multiple times, hey, let's go on a trip abroad. And I always knew in the back of my mind, oh, if we go on this trip abroad, whether it would be to Italy or another location, that could be really great because of a multitude of factors, right? First time abroad together, first time experiencing a new country together. It's kind of feels like our own
Right.
thing and our own element of it. But again, we're trying to figure it out, trying to see if it worked. It was just kind of winging those things. But I always had that in the back of my mind. And again, months and months before we even went to Italy, I was hinting at her, hey, maybe we should go to this location, go over here. I think France was one of them, and Italy was another, and Paris was another. So there was a lot of different ideas of locations, but I knew abroad was one of the big ideas. And so I also had a backup plan just in case it was not feasible, something locally
Yeah.
as well. And I knew she loved a body of water. She loves the beach, a body of water. She loves those pictures. She loves those elements to it.
Because you felt pressured also with time. I saw that in you. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not
That,
pressure. Pressure,
no,
I would say is the wrong word.
like
but
pressure,
it's
like you wanted
we
to
wanted to do it. Yeah.
you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't want to wait, and that's what I meant. Like,
Yeah, we just didn't want to wait anymore. And I think, again, it wasn't a pressure per se, but it was just, hey, it feels right. Let's do it. Why wait
and when is the
so
right
long?
moment, right?
I
Because even
think,
just to plan out to go abroad, you still have to plan. There is this planning
Yeah.
element, right? So, but I did. I did see you trying to find the time sooner than later.
yeah, because I think,
And-
so again,
and that's what
going
I
back
meant by
to,
pressure,
no, going
because-
back to what me and her talked about, we didn't want to drag out,
An engagement or
whether it's an engagement or knowing that we picked out the ring. We didn't want to drag that out because ultimately we want to start our lives. We want to start our lives tomorrow. And obviously there's a little bit of process to do that. But
it's a long process.
it can be.
Yeah.
And again, there's nothing wrong that couples that want to do that or that are engaged for 2 years or that have been together for years on end before engagement. I don't think there's anything wrong with it necessarily, as
No,
long as there's
it's a
open
personal-
communication
Right.
between the couple.
It's their journey.
Yeah.
Everybody's journey is
But
different.
that's not what we
Relationship,
wanted.
Right.
We knew what we wanted and didn't want. And ultimately, it was just kind of get the ball rolling
Yeah.
in the best possible way and just start. And there's these elements to start that. And so, yeah, there was these two ideas per se, right? Kind of abroad, kind of locally, a new body of water, new elements, maybe sunset, maybe sun, like very, very beautiful. And so there was,
You're really taking all the aesthetics into
I was,
consideration.
because she is a photographer too, just like you. And so she's a photographer, so she loves the aesthetics. And then I also had to think about making sure, how do we have it as a semi-surprise at least,
Yeah.
where it's not,
Like,
Hey,
oh, she's
make
waiting for it.
but also, hey, let's make sure you're wearing a dress and have your nails done and everything, because then that's going to give it away too. So it's like all sort of connected nonchalantly, but also
Right,
intentionally
because you
with it
took into
all.
consideration what she would have hoped for
Yeah.
without really telling her, waiting for that moment, right? That anticipation
Yeah.
moment. And so,
Yeah. So yeah, it was a mixture. It was a
yeah.
mixture of planning it, but also a mixture of okay, winging some things. And yeah, so we ultimately um, were able to ring shop. So that's the first part of the story. We were able to ring shop. And so what was nice about the ring shopping is the jeweler told her, "Oh, it's not going to be ready for about 6 to 8 weeks."
Yeah. Perfect.
And we're
Yeah.
like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
But he actually handed me the ring that day. So he kind of slid. He's like, "Hey, actually, I have the ring for you this day. Just need to resize it, do a couple things to it, blah blah blah. Like, but you could pick it up later today." And so I was able to pick it up that same day.
So she already had in her mind, well, I
It's not
won't
gonna
see
happen
it.
for
And
like
you're like,
two
yeah.
months. It's not gonna
Yeah.
happen
So
for
that gave
a
you
while.
enough.
Yeah, that
That,
gave the
yeah.
opening
Yeah.
to
The whole,
Italy, going
right.
to Italy.
Right.
That gave the opening to going to Italy. Again, even in that element, there was multiple different options. There was one related to going near Vatican City or like in Rome. Like there's different options. But again, I knew she also loved the body of water um, aspect too. So again, there's that. But then Zach also got sick while in Rome. So kind of scoped it out in those elements, but also had I'm not going to say backup, but the 1A, 1B options of Capri, Italy.
At that point, we still didn't know what locations. We had an idea, semi location
Yeah, it was the idea of
idea.
Capri. Yeah. It was the idea of Capri, though. So it was the idea of Capri because it was like this beautiful body of water, this beautiful element. But it was a question of, like, is this still feasible for like a lot of different elements of it? And so when Rome fell through and then other elements sort of fell through too, I was like, okay, Capri is the location. And this is where like you came in kind of telling her, hey, maybe we should have a photo shoot in Capri.
I think that was a perfect opportunity for her to get excited about having a photo shoot without even thinking about, even the possibility of you asking, popping the question and asking her to marry you. So she had no idea. Even just having the conversation of, let's just do a photo shoot. That would be nice to do a photo shoot. And, because she was going back and forth about what I should wear, what I should do. And so I was taking all of that into
Yeah.
consideration of making sure that she was going to be happy with what she was wearing and just being how, beautiful Capri is. I
Yeah.
wanted
And
to
at
make
this point,
sure.
I was just like kind of deferring to you on the aesthetic of it because, again, you have the eye, you have the beautiful eye, the beautiful
There's so many challenges,
photography.
though,
Yeah.
to get to that point in place of the challenges of not really being familiar with the area.
Right.
The challenges of having so many people around, and I wanted it to be like special for both of you because even having Zachary there, Zachary not really knowing what was going to happen, we had challenges with that because he just wanted to just keep walking, keep going, and I didn't really want to tell him, look, he's gonna propose right now, and
It
so
was so funny. On a side note of it too, I don't know if you know this, but I told Zachary to, hey, just record us taking
yes,
pictures. So
yes,
that's what I was telling Zachary. He took selfies of himself.
he did.
Actually, he took selfies of himself um, throughout the photo shoot and
And
proposal
proposal.
of it. It's just a funny side note thinking of this dude really took selfies. He's like, that's my moment still. He's like, this is my reaction to them being engaged.
He had his own vision of what he wanted to do,
Right.
and which often really happens all the time with our filming and the content. But I wanted it to be special for both of you, and I was really happy to be in taking the photos and being there, and Just seeing it all fall into place right before my eyes, and all the challenges about even the having the ring. Remember when you're like, no, you carry the ring. I was like, no, I don't want the ring. You hold the ring.
Yeah,
And
because it
it
was,
was that alone. That was so nerve
hiding
wracking
something
for days.
for, yeah, it was, what,
Days.
11 days? Was stressful.
It was.
Because, if I asked Bernadette, like, hey, can you get something out of this bag? I have to remember, I was like, oh, is the ring in that bag before asking her? So you almost have to proceed every conversation with caution just because you're hiding
Yeah.
something in a suitcase or in a bag. And it was,
Or just
that was stressful.
That was very
When I think
stressful.
about the elements of, hey, this was kind of stressful, the little things, hiding something is stressful. Trying to make sure someone doesn't have any inclination of what's going to happen is stressful. Trying to tell Zachary, but also not
Not
tell
tell
him,
him. Yeah.
because if I tell him, he's going to be like, Bernadette, you're getting married. And because, transparently, on the other end too, when we did go ring shopping, he told Bernadette, hey, you're going to get married. He's like, I went ring shopping. Yeah. Luckily, at that time, me and Bernadette decided we're going to go ring shopping together. So he didn't ruin the surprise. But you can't tell him something without
No.
wanting to tell the other person.
He does not know how to keep secrets.
He can't.
No.
He can't. And that's okay. I respect it. I think there's a lot of beauty in not being able to keep secrets.
And just even having that
yeah.
communication with you, I didn't want to say anything or like have Zachary here because we were trying to like figure out, okay, I'm going to carry the ring. I'm going to put it here, but don't like, it was stressful for me too,
Yeah.
because even the moment of, what if Zachary opens the bag, or what if he sees something? And
then
so
he's going to grab it and go show Bernadette right there. Hey, look what I found.
So I made sure I had my purse on me the entire time, making sure that it just didn't move, I didn't put it down. I was on edge the entire time. But even just having that moment where I can hand it over to you, that was stressful. I didn't even know how I had the camera. We had Zachary. We were in a rocky area of the beach.
But even all of it, it's just all a blessing. Even
Of
how
course,
much, even
of course.
But I'm just thinking back, like, oh yeah, I was really stressed a lot of times. Like, I don't know if she could tell, but I could tell. Thinking back, and
I don't think. I mean, from my perspective, I don't think she.
I don't
knew.
think she did either.
No,
but it was just one of those things of like, oh,
because there was so much
it was
going
so great.
on. Yeah,
it was so wonderful, so amazing. Even what's racing, I don't know if it's common for a lot of men to experience it, but even what's racing in my mind of, oh, is my form gonna be good when I propose? When I get down on one knee, is the form gonna be good?
That is hilarious.
Am I going to, potentially fall over on this beach trying to get down and get back up? What am I gonna say? Do I say, will you marry me, or do I go a whole speech and then will you? It's just, it's a blessing in all of it. But my mind was racing so fast, and part of me did blank a little when I did propose. But again, it was just a beautiful.
So, what was leading up to that moment? Tell us about those little moments that led up to.
Yeah, it's that. It's just.
Is it still a blank?
I think part of it is, yeah, because the only reason I remember a little bit more now is because I watched the video.
Yeah.
Going through the footage, going through the pictures, like, oh yeah, that's what kind of happened a little bit. But in that moment, it was making sure the ring didn't fall out when I was holding it. It was making sure, because there's this anxiety of like, oh, what if I propose and then drop the ring in the water and then it's gone forever? There's all these elements that I was just stressed about, of making sure, hey, just get the ring on her finger. One job. One little job. And so it was, again, the beautiful and blessed and everything, but I was stressed about it. And there was no reason to be stressed because we talked about it. I knew she was going to say yes. I knew.
Just all the excitement.
Yeah, it was just wanting it to be perfect. I think the perfectionist kind of came
And
out
it
too.
was. I have to
Um,
say, it really was.
it,
All the
it was
little
perfect
things
in its own way for sure.
fell into place.
But yeah, so we took a couple photos beforehand, and then it was just like, oh, I have one last photo for you, and then that's when I got down on one knee. She was excited. Even her, like her reaction, she was so surprised. Her first words were, "How did you get the ring here?" I was like, "What do you mean? How did I get the ring?" And she told me because again, we knew it was
It was
six to
still
eight
in her
weeks.
mind.
She was so confused how I got the actual ring there, which was funny. And even in her mind, she was expressing, she'll have to tell her side of the story one day, but kind of just expressing of she didn't know of whether to say I do or I will or yes or
And what did she ultimately say? Because I don't remember her saying anything.
she didn't. She just nodded her
She
head.
nodded her
She just
head.
nodded her head. She literally just nodded her head and said, "How did you get the ring here?" And I said, "Is that a yes?" She's like, "Oh," which is again funny, but yeah, you just it's special. You can't no matter how much planning you do, how much you want it to be perfect in this element, like it's still just those raw moments that happen that are just beautiful and amazing.
It was.
So I think a lot of people are also asking like what does Zach fully think about me and Bernadette getting engaged? We've had a lot of comments, a lot of um DMs even asking like, "Oh, how does Zach feel? What does this mean for Zach?" And to keep it kind of short and simple, he's so excited. He is beyond excited. Um, their relationship is also pretty special and pretty amazing, Zach and Bernadette's. And that's something that I am grateful for. And one of the big things I was looking for in a partner. But seeing them, they have their own relationship even outside of me, which I think is beautiful. So ultimately, Zach is 100% on board. I think he wants to be included in all of it. He wants to be included in all that comes with it. He keeps saying we're getting married. He tells anyone that will listen. I think it's just going to be continued conversations with him on what those changes will potentially look like.
I know from the very beginning that was always, something that you talked about quite a bit about just hoping that Zachary would, be open to someone else and accepting to someone else. And like you said, I mean, the relationship is nice to see how it is how it has evolved, and he really loves to have around. He enjoys that bonding, those little moments. Like you said, he's excited, and time will only make their bond stronger. You know, he always wants to be in the middle of everything and be
He does.
included in everything, and
Or even just takes me out of it. He's like, "Go ahead, Patrick, you go. Me and Bernadette will go here."
yeah, he does.
I was like, "We'll go get food. You could stay. Bye."
He does, and it's sweet. It really is sweet that you've both created a space for him in your lives that way, and see the future for him that way too. Um, I mean, if it was up to him, he'd probably like just move in with you guys. But bye, mom. See you later, mom.
Yeah, he would.
He would. He's so funny.
No, he is at a stage for sure that he's just like, "Bye, mom. Bye, dad.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone that's not around his age." It's like, adios.
Yeah, he's got that
I'm going with them.
young 20 teenage mindset. It just wants to hang out with friends and
Yeah.
wants to, go do fun things.
Yeah, no, but he's always gonna have a place, and that's what matters the most in all of it. Whatever happens in the future, he'll always have a place with me, with Bernadette, with us and our future family, and he's always gonna be a part of it. And that's never gonna change
Yeah.
ever. Like obviously it may look different here and there, but he will always have a home, have a place with me.
Okay, so now it's time for golden moments. What is your golden moment?
Just blessed. just grateful. I think it's this indescribable feeling when you feel like you found the one. You know you found the one. I know I found the one. I wish I was able to express it in a way that makes a little more sense, but in my mind, it's just completely and utterly thankful. Thankful to have a person with such a beautiful heart. Thankful to have a person that accepts me and Zachary and my family and includes us in everything. Thankful to be blessed to be put in that situation, to experience that love. I am just so thankful for it and so lucky. And I'm going to cherish this love and give all my love to make sure we're protected and our relationship is protected and our future family is protected. And I'm just so grateful. It's that's all I could just say. Just blessed, grateful, thankful, however else to say it. That's just the big words that are coming to my mind.
I love to see how your eyes just sparkle when you talk about her. They really do. They just dance in a way that just shows a lot of love, a lot of life. And I'm happy for your future. My golden moment is always looking back at what got you and what got us to this point.
Mhm.
And there's been a lot of heartache, right? A lot of disappointments, a lot of these unknowns, a feeling of, will I ever find that person? Will there ever be that future for me that you so
Right.
internally desired? Right. And just when you feel like you're being challenged, you get challenged even more and even deeper, where you start beginning to feel like losing hope, right? That pivotal point will forever be engraved in my mind where I saw you feeling, like Zachary says, you're hopeless.
Yeah, I just accepted it when Zach said a lonely, hopeless. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. It's cool.
But all kidding aside, that was such a pivotal point where I remember telling you, you have to have faith and you have to go that extra mile within your faith to believe that you need to put your life in the hands of God so that He can guide that for you and that He can put it all perfect into this beautiful little package that you don't even know or
Yeah.
even can expect or realize what that feels and looks like. And I know that was hard for you. I know that was so hard for you. But when I saw you give it your all, when I saw you, because you didn't have any other choice at that point,
Right.
it was really all or nothing. And that golden moment is just that pivotal time in your life that really has changed everything, even your own faith and believe in like something bigger, something greater than your own ability to, you know, find someone that you thought you would have by doing certain things in your life.
Right.
Right? You had to trust, you had to believe, you had to just take a leap of faith in ways that
It was new for
I
me.
never
Yeah,
saw you do and was
absolutely.
different for you. And so that is my golden moment and being here today, even for me to think, wow, so much has changed.
So much has
Yeah.
changed, so much has happened, but we're moving forward in the best way and
It's a
just
blessing.
blessed. Yeah.
I just a real blessing, and not to say that you're not going to have your own um, challenges in life, but now I know that you trust in something greater and bigger, and that both of you will continue to be able to get through things as long as there that communication and love and support of one another, and I can see that, and that just brings me so much joy. It
Yeah.
really does.
Blessings to the next chapter.